Sorry, it took me a minute. Just waiting for my stuff to update. Sometimes my clip studio is a little weird. But I think that's my computer's fault. Hi, Mimu! Thank you! I'm trying to make it move. It doesn't want to. Hi! For all the people who've been here before, welcome back! It's a little cold. How long did it take to make me? About almost 3 months. It's only because after a while I was kind of unsatisfied. I might do some more stuff later on. Like get a sweater! Cause it's cold. Oh, I've only done a few streams on Instagram, just a couple of times. Well, most of the time it's not that great of quality. So that's why I started streaming on Twitch. And on top of that, Instagram kept deleting my videos. Which wasn't fun. Lame. I'm glad. Okay. I think we gotta start now. I think my Instagram... My clip studio is done. So, it's time to switch back. Okay, let's see. Back to the basics. Do, 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 do. So you guys get to see all the settings. It is a lot. There we go. Now let's switch to drawing. Uh-oh. Where'd my tablet pen go? Oh, there it is. I found it. The usual. Very common. Okay, I did say that I was going to be doing a painting tutorial today because a lot of people ask me a lot, so I might as well do something that's commonly asked. Ooh, almost forgot to do one more thing. Oh! New follower. See who that was. Thank you, Tomini. Thank you, Tomini. Oh, and Liquid Death. Thank you, Liquid Death. Noonaboon. Just the Harper. Those are all pretty recent. Sorry. There you go. I turned it down a little bit. So that way you won't be too scared. I don't want to startle viewers. Thank you, Nemonade. Thank you for following. Okay. Hope you guys can hear me, since I'll be doing a bit of a tutorial. Just checking. Before I start talking and then no one can hear me. Oh, 21 viewers, thank you! It's updating a little slow for me on Streamlabs, so I can't fully hear it. see it. Not hear it. Can't hear the view count. That's silly. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with a painting tutorial. I'll just put it up here in the corner. Painting tutorial. Well, gotta decorate it. Been known to do that for a while. I remember my teachers would get mad at me whenever I decorate my paper when I write my name. Okay, I'm gonna start by making a face. One of the brushes that I'm using is a custom brush. I should be releasing it soon, when I'm done with the artwork with the brush. And then everybody can get it at the Clip Studio store. I'm gonna be having it in a bundle, basically. The coloring tutorial hasn't started yet, but I have to make a face first. So we're gonna start by making a face. If you want to follow along, that could probably help too. Oh yeah, if you can't have this brush, there's always a substitute. And this is my substitute. Because it kinda has the same effect. It's a little bit more harsher. But in its settings, you could turn some things down. But I'll put it right here. DV, watercolor, one. Or is that called one because I have two of them? Well, I'm just gonna keep the one there. Oh, new follower. Thank you, Peaches Squish. Okay. Another follower. Let's see. Thank you, Towel Laminator, for following. Okay. The way you can get this brush right here is in a set called, let's put where you can get it. It's called DV Brush Set. You can get it on DeviantArt. On DeviantArt. Not only is this brush really nice, it has color mixing settings. So if you want to paint instead and have your colors mix, you can always do that. Just make sure you turn your color mixing on. There's two brushes. This one is more watercolor based. Sometimes when you download it, it'll say that it won't work. But just keep it in there. Just make sure not to use it on a too large of canvas. My canvas size is 2600 to 2300. I go on small canvases. Not everyone has to go on a small canvas, but that's just something I like to do. Also, the second brush that's more watercolor-like is called DV Bristle. DV Bristle 1. I'm gonna highlight these in blue. I hope that helps a little bit. Yeah. Thank you, Erinini. Nurse Habitable. Handribble. And Severn 8. Welcome to the stream. Did I miss anybody? Nope. At least I hope I don't. If I missed you, thank you for following. Hi, Kit Kat Snape. Nine posted, what the Hi, sandbag, Jesus Christ. Meme's ruined. Yeah, I should probably follow along too. Bob Ross. Oh, I can't believe Bob Ross is anime. Thank you, Sunbag. Okay. Let's make this a little bigger. The way I normally do faces is, I try not... I used to keep it soft all around, but a really good thing to do is to harden your edges sometimes, because it doesn't have to be soft fully. That's a mistake that I made a lot when I started painting. It's just being afraid to make harsher lines in your paintings. But it's a pretty common thing, especially for professional painters, and things like that. I can't say that I'm like a pro at it or anything like that, but I'm still learning, and I learn a lot from specifically like I don't have an artist right now, but most of the time I just learn from like seeing how people define their stuff when they paint. I hope that makes sense. Oh, wrong color. I normally keep my canvas gray because having it white all the time makes it stand out a lot, and it can be a little blinding. And you want people to see your colors stand out more instead of having it on a straight white canvas. You can color under and over your painting. It doesn't always have to be on top. And it doesn't have to always be under either. Oh. New follower. Hello Pandora0216. Thank you for following. It's okay if you don't get this the first time. I know a lot of people who sometimes beat themselves up over stuff like this. I used to too. Thank you, Bloomy Tooth, for following. Hello, Pandora0216. Hello. It's shocking, isn't it? There, I teared it down just a little bit. Also, I think this is more of a painting tutorial than a drawing tutorial. So if you want a drawing tutorial, I'll try and do that another day. I could teach you some basics that I learned in animation class that helped me form faces today. Let's give them some hair. Not too much, since this is a color tutorial. Also, when drawing, don't be afraid to edit sometimes, like moving your eyes down or fixing them up a little bit. I used to be nervous about doing that on stream, but like everybody does it. It's silly. I gotta correct some things sometimes. Just don't be afraid to do that. Okay. Let's see, what colors are we using first? I'm gonna give you... I'll be doing another one for dark skin tomorrow. So that way it won't be one-sided. Because a lot of people struggle with drawing dark skin, and I did for a while as well. Okay, and this is gonna be our first color. Also, if you're using Clip Studio, there's a way to color pick from my screen. If you don't know how to do that, you can also take a screenshot. Also, color picking. Color picking is fantastic. Do not be afraid to do it. Thank you for following Apple Loves Candy. Sandbag. Thank you for following JellyXFishu. Another one. Thank you for following Bad Karma, honestly. It's from when you follow. If someone follows me, the yo place. Okay. I'm gonna lower the opacity on my brush now. And we're gonna start coloring the face. Just lightly. Thank you for following Michikachi. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Sandbag? Also, if this is too hard, or if you don't specifically understand it, you can always color at the bottom as well. And by bottom, I mean the bottom layer. It's okay if you erase some things with the color of the canvas. It actually helps me. Sometimes. Okay, so next part I normally add is the blush, because I like adding blush to things. helps me start a basis. And I'm gonna put the color that I'm using over here. So let me move this here. That way I can make an easier color palette without changing my settings too much. I'm gonna make this bigger. Donkey Kong. Okay. My opacity right now is at 38. I hope you can see it. So 38, and my brush size is at 198. Normally when I add like base paint colors like this, I add a bigger, not add a bigger, but I use a bigger brush. I use a bigger brush because it helps me cover more ground faster without it looking too smudgy or too strokey. I like to go around the face, the blush. Okay, now I'm going to use a darker color that's similar to this, but is more on the brown side. Ooh, almost forgot. I need to draw the neck, because that's important for this specific tutorial that I'm going to be doing. Okay. Let's grab that color again. I'm using a one that's a little darker now. But you could test out both. So I'll basically do this to add it together. Sometimes my first color choices don't go as planned. So sometimes I either need to go lighter or darker. I need to go around the eye. So now I'm going to grab the color of the face. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to use this for the eyes. Well, the scleras. At least I think that's what it's called, right? scleras. And then I'm gonna do the eyes. I don't know what color eyes I want to do, but we're just going to grab a random color. I chose purple. You could choose any color you want. I normally move more towards the gray tones. I'm lightly using this color. So that way if you want to add detail, you still have color to add, like shadow on the eye. You can use the same color that you use lightly and put it on the eye. And I can grab the same color, make it a little darker. Now a little bit onto the... Okay, and now in the same section basically, you can use that for the people. And you go darker. Now we're gonna use that pupil color. We're gonna use it to make the eyelashes. Using the same color but lighter, you can go around the eye right here. Give them a kind of makeup look. I'm gonna blend the eye a little bit here with my brush. And you can use that same color. We're using the same color right now, which is the iris, not the iris. Called the iris? The black hole of the eye. We're still using the same color, and we're gonna darken around the scleras, if that's what it's called. I always get the scleras mixed up with something else sometimes. Curse you medical terms. I'm using the bottom lash line to color in the creases a little bit, so that way the black doesn't overpower too much. Well, not black, but dark purple. Okay, now we're back to the dark purple, and now we're gonna use fully the dark purple. And this time we're going to use it to fan out the lashes. I hope this is easy to follow along. I'm trying my best. Just flipping the canvas to see how the other side is doing. Okay, I'm gonna check chat. Bush. A duck. Thank you, Sandbag. People. Thank you. Do you have a post of your tool settings? Just bought Clip Studio, but I haven't used it yet. Hi, Truth! Welcome to the stream. I don't have a post in my tool settings. I don't really change my tool settings that much. Okay, so now normally for me, this is the part where I outline the face. I'm using the same color that I used for the iris and the eyeline, just to clean up the face a little bit. Sometimes I do this so that way I can clean up the eye a little bit. And now I'm doing the lashes. Well, the bottom lashes. Also, if you want to do shine or anything like that, you can always just grab straight up white and just plop it on there. It gives it an intense color contrast. You could do this different ways. You could do it like that. You could lower the opacity. You could put it on top of the eye. You can also put it in the middle of the eye if you're feeling stylistic. Okay, I think you've got the eyes done. If you want to add lashes to the top, you can. But I'm not gonna add lashes to mine. Oh, new follower. Thank you. 1. Did I say thank you, Michikachi? I think I did. Thank you. I hope my art is comfy. I'm going to merge my layers now, so that I can erase things easier. Also, don't be fooled. This looks like I'm using only a few layers, but the most layers that I normally use is at least 10 to 15, depending on what I'm working on. using a lot of layers is not a crime. As long as you stay at least up to like 40. I know some artists that use hundreds of layers, but I can't. I start feeling way too cluttered. I'm doing eyelashes, not the eyelashes, the eyebrows. And I used this color. Let's move it down here. Okay, after I clean up the face, I normally move on to the mouth. By using this brown, which is right here, I use this to outline the mouth just as a starter. And now I'm going to use a pinkish color, which is this. To start it off. After this tutorial, I will be making a little summary to sum things up. For the ones confused, this is the color that I'm using to define the mouth a little bit. And now I'm going to use a darker color, which is the one that I used before, but just darker. Now I'm using the purple-ish color that I used for the eyelashes for the mouth. Now I'm cleaning up the lips so that way you won't have that weird gray outline there anymore. I'm using the color of the face to clean up the lips, not the eraser. If you want to add an extra flare, you could use the color of the lips to go under the eyes to match the lips a little bit more, just to add color. And you could also use the color of the lips to do the top of the eye. Now for the nose, I'm going to use the middle color of the lips that was created by combining two colors. So it's this color. And I'm going to use that for the nose. I define it a little bit, because I just like those simplistic faces. My personal preference. And then for this, which is the under nose shadow that I just did, I use this color. It's close to the color that was used for the nose, but it was randomly color picked. I'm going to use the color of the lips to define the middle of the eyes a little bit. Okay. Yep, almost forgot to give my character some eye shine. I'm using the color of the canvas, which is this gray color. You don't have to use straight up white. That's up to you, depending on how bright you want it. You can even use blue. I like blue. Okay, we're not done with the face, but we're gonna move on from it for just a minute, and we're gonna go down to the neck, because I want to show you a trick that I recently learned only a couple of months ago. Because I never really gave it thought, but I've actually done it a few times, but I just never paid attention to it. Which is the color green. This green is specifically sometimes on the yellowish variation, but it doesn't always have to be. It is really depending on like which picture. It's green and blue. Well, grayish blue. And light blue. All these colors can be used for shadows or adding definition to the face, and it can sometimes make your art look more professional. Thank you, Minty Kiwis, for following. That's okay. If you want to merge your layers later on, you totally can. Whichever makes you comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to use both of these methods so that way you can see how both work. So I'm going to duplicate the layer. Oops. Let me just copy and then paste. Okay, back to coloring. Get my pen again. And now we're going to do the neck, which is shadowing. Because you can go a couple of different ways with this. Because you can also use gray. Kind of hard to explain, but yeah, you can use gray, and you can just use color of the lips. You can use like a darker brown, and you can use a lighter, the lighter blush color too. Okay, so let's explain that. Let me color the neck first. Because this doesn't just have to be the neck, of course. This is just shadowing in general. I use the outline that I used to slightly shade the size of the neck, so that way I could have a little bit more depth. And I shave it off a little bit. The next color. Gently. Tap, 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 tap. And actually, let me copy and paste it now. Copy. Not crop. Oh. I never gotta slip some Animal Crossing in there from playing Nintendo soundtracks. I went to read the chat for a second. Okay. Back to what I was doing, which was copy and pasting. Boop. Alright. So, about the neck thing I was talking about. Basically shadowing. Basically what I normally do, I don't want to skip a step that I normally do. But it's normally, I choose a color. So let me lower my opacity a little bit. Choose a color, I lightly go in there. I lowered the opacity to my thing, so that way it won't mess up anything. I'm using the lip color and the blush, and I'm just gently merging them together at the bottom. So that way the face stands out from the neck. Okay, first color that I'm going to choose is green, because this is the new one that I found out about. which should basically lower your opacity. Go underneath the neck, and you use a bit of green. And you just blend it a little bit. And that's how it works. You can also use the green around the face. You can even use it for the ears. I'm going to color the ears real quick so you can see what I mean. I'm also going to use the lip color for the ears as well. Then I'm going to use the eye color from the lashes to outline my ear a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the green again. I'm gonna go inside the ear. I'm gonna grab this color that I put over here to merge the green with. Just blend it a little bit. And some blush on the ears. Gonna go back to the green, use it lightly, and there you go. And I'm also going to show you how to use the blue. It's basically the same way. I'm gonna make this one a little bit more brief. Basically grab the blue. I use blue a lot. It's another way you can do shadowing. Same for the ears. And that's how the blue works. I think I'm going to go back to the face now. Clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna use the color from the lips to do the detail on this. Another thing that you can do is you can add extra more saturated colors to your eyes sometimes to give it a little bit more depth. The color that I used was a bright pink. You can also use the green under your nose. You can also use the blue under your nose. Another thing that I like to do, which you don't have to do if you don't want to, is add a little bit of shine on the nose. I like to add a shine on the nose because whenever I do the eyes, I like to have a little bit of shine near the eyes to give the face a little bit more depth. You could do it for the lips too if you want to. What I used was this color. It's a really bright color, so you want to use it very lightly so it doesn't stand out too much. I'm gonna add a little bit of it on the ears, because why not? I'm gonna use this dark red right here, and I'm gonna use it to outline the neck a little bit. Just to clean it up. Same with the face. Okay, I'm not sure what color I want to make the character's hair, but I'm just gonna go with a base, like kind of like a dirt tone blondish color. I'm just gonna layer that on top of the hair. My hair isn't very strandy, and that's just my art style because I don't want to do super hyper realistic hair. It's not something I like to do. And then I use this color that I grabbed, which looks like this. It's a color close to this. I think it might be the same color. But I'm gonna use this to shave around the hair to get rid of the black sketches that was around the hair. And I'm gonna shave it off, clean up the drawing a little bit. This is the hair color that I chose. Cleaning up the hair with the eraser. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the hair color. I'm going to gently go into this. I'm going to use the blue for this one, and going to highlight, give the hair some highlight tones, so that way it won't be too straight colored. As opposed to what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Now I'm using this color again for the outline of the hair, so that way you can have some shadow for it laying on the face. And you can gently, oops, wrong color. You could gently go over it with the same color to give the hair a little bit more depth, and then blend it with the face color. Clean it up again. Oh, new follower. Thank you for following, Sho Akumai. I'm gonna clean up the face again a little bit, along with the eyebrows, making sure they're a little even. Clean up around the hair. I'm gonna add a darker color. Another thing that you can do is add a darker color for the hair, like a shadowing, depending on how long you made it. You can use this, and these colors. I think it stands out a lot. Another bonus thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Actually, before I get there, I'm going to show you how to give the hair a little bit more depth. Which is, I'm going to use a lighter yellow type color. I'm going to gently go over the hair with it. I'm going to blend it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna use a softer brush, like an airbrush, to smooth it out a little bit. And if you want to add hair shine, you can do that. Just make sure, do it a little bit in shape with the hair. Another tip I'd like to give, which is the bonus tip, I'm going to show you a little bit something about hair shadowing in the back. Now, hair shadowing in the back, it doesn't always need to be a darker color of the hair. It can also be, let me outline this a little bit. I'm gonna do some back hair. See, right now I used a blue for the back color of the hair. You can do this with almost any hair color. That includes like oranges, like this, even black hair. It always blends very nicely. Blue has a lot of things that it can do. I use blue for the hair specifically for this type of painting. If you want to use a darker color, you can use the color that I provided here, and you can just make it darker if you want the front hair to stand out a little bit more. Both work. I'm not sure about green, but you could use green sometimes. Just be a little careful. You can even use a lighter color than the blonde, which I'm going to do. It's very fancy. I learned it from a Japanese artist I used to follow on Twitter, but they deleted their account and I was sad. I had been following them around since I was like 14. I don't think I would know how to paint if it wasn't for them. But when you're using lighter colors, make sure to blend it a little bit more out. Or unless you just want to make it pop out as much as you want, you could just leave it like that too. You can even lower the opacity. Try out some fancy stuff. Boop. Oh, another thing is if you want to add some shine to her head, you can. You can make it a little light. Oh yeah, I forgot to add. One thing that you can do is if you don't want a color, you could also use dark color. Merge this down now. The color that it became is this color, which is a lot different than the blue that I used. It's more on the gray side. Remember when I said that you could use gray? That's where it comes in handy. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to show you is basic shadow, which is something that you can use if you don't want to use a color like blue or green, or if it might be easier for you. So let's see, let's try this lip color instead. I'm using the lip color now for shadow, and that works too. But if you're using color like that, make sure you go a little harsher. And don't blend it too much. And there you go. I'm gonna give them some hair clips. And we're done. Wow. I hope the tutorial was a little helpful for you guys. Oh, I use a Huon tablet. Here, I'll put it right here. And it's for PC. And put it here, not a screen tablet. 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 There we go. I'll show you what model I'm using. Let me go on the internet real quick. Oh, thank you, Seaweed. Thank you, Nimonade. I try to understand the colors as well as I can. Oh, I'm glad it's helping you, Pineapple Prince. What's that the hair color? She reminds me of Clear True Hunter. You're welcome to Meanie. Oh, I didn't see there was a new follower. Thank you, Vlacostes. Vlacostes. I think that's how you say it. You're welcome, Pandora0216. Yes, painting overliner seems so much easier the faster than spending hours on line art. I do line art sometimes. I recently started getting more into line art than painting. Now I miss painting and I want to paint more. Let's go on the internet and find my tablet model. Because there's a lot of Huon tablets. And if you want specifically mine, you might need to find an image for it. Let's see, shopping. That's not my tablet. Oh. There it is. When I got my tablet, it was only $57. You might be able to find this tablet for a cheaper price. But I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. There we go. I'll also show you a picture of what tablet I have. Let's drop it on screen. Let's put it here. This tablet is called the Inspire New 1060 Plus 8192. And of course, we're not going to remember that, so let's just type the name in the chat. I'll also put it on my canvas. Let's delete all this white space off this thing. It's gonna go boop. by a white space. This is the tablet I have. Let's put the name next to it too. Make it a little smaller. I'll just space it out a little bit. There we go. Comes with, also in this small little case right here, it comes with these indestructible nibs. You know how like on Bamboo tablet the nibs would get shorter and shorter and shorter until it recede into your pen? Well, the Huon tablet does not do that. It's a miracle. But it comes with a bunch of them, and the most likely you won't even need them, because the nib does not go down. And it doesn't recede into the pen either. But they're nice enough to give you a whole bunch. Just in case you feel like it's going down. But we're just gonna keep that right there. Put a couple of arrows. And there we go. Yeah, I'll also draw myself pointing to it. And like I said, the brush that I use for this is not the DV bristle. It's not the DV bristle. It's a brush that I haven't released yet, and when I do, I will tell all of you that it's in the Clip Studio store. There is another brush that I think might act as it, but I don't remember what it's called right now. But for now, the DV watercolor brush set should act as a substitute. It has similar traits, just a little bit more harsher. You can also use the airbrush if you want softer strokes, like blush and face contouring. The program comes with a airbrush, which I'm going to tell you right here. I'll put it here instead, because it's really nice. if you want to blend lightly on stuff, like blush and stuff. It's pretty easy to use. And this brush is called... Because the brush on Clip Studio, the airbrush on Clip Studio, is not that great. So we're gonna say it's called Bastin Basic Soft 2. And I think it might be in the DV brush set. It might be in the DV brush set, but I don't actually remember where I got it. But at least if you have the name, it should show up somewhere on the internet. But it's a real helper if you want smoother blending and stuff like that. Like face definition, like this. Like if you want to make the face more 3D, use that and lightly use it. But yeah, I think this is the end of the tutorial. I hope that you guys had a good time while I did this, and I hope that it made sense. That is my main thing. But I want it to make sense because art is very confusing. So I'm going to apply this. And now I'm going to sit the heck down. Okay. Oh, 2 new followers. Thank you for following Kenneth and Milky Taiyaki. Milky Taiyaki. There we go. You're welcome, Lemonade. You're welcome, Pineapple Prince. Do a tutorial on how to be epic. Yeah, you should. You're right. But that would include a lot of parkour. Oh, awesome, Pandora. Humans are really nice, aren't they? Which Clip Studio version do I use? Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. The version of Clip Studio that I use is... I think I'd have to go in my files to find that. Thankfully, I have a transition back to my Clip Studio. Boop. There we go. Alright. So let's see, which version of Clip Studio do I use? Properties. Maybe that should help. Doesn't actually say. For my computer, it just says Clip Studio. It's gotta be somewhere. Clip Studio. Maybe it's on the menu. I want to look this up for you. Well, from the looks of it, Clip Studio 1.10.5 is going to be coming soon, so I guess I'm 1.10.4? I don't really know how versions work. But for now, I'm just going to put the one that's coming soon. So it has to be right next to the one that I have now. Version of Clip Studio. Let's see. Where did it go? 1.10. Normally, what confuses me is that it's normally up in the top, but it's not there today. So I'm just gonna have to put the one that's coming soon. And I'll put it in I hope that helps a little bit. Sorry I can't get the actual version. You're welcome, Cyber Corvette. Cyber Corvette. Okay, there we go. Or like, how much do you pay? Am I going to do the summary? Most great habits. Humans are great habits for a good price, and I really recommend them for beginners to do. Yes, Pandora! You write so nice on a tablet. For some reason, my handwriting gets so much worse digitally. Well, I mean, normally when I'm on my pens and stuff, there's this thing right here. It's called a taper. And it helps you feel a little bit more better when doing it. Here, I'm gonna take it out right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's this thing called a taper, and what it does, it's right here. It basically gives your pen a lot more flow and better feeling, like a more traditional feeling to your pen. Normally people have their tapers on like 1, and it doesn't feel very nice. Well, to me at least. The taper is low. Like if the taper isn't on a specific pen, it basically comes on every single pen that you have. And the way you can access that is going to the settings right here. And right here is, you go to correction, which is in this little setting right here. Correction is located right here, right under erase. And then the taper is located right here. There's an eye symbol right here. And if it's not on, you click it and it becomes an eye, and it goes into the menu that you have on your Clip Studio as taper. My taper is normally at 4, or if you're feeling wild, you could put it at 5 if it's still not comfortable for you. But 5 sometimes will draw after your hand, and it can get a little out of control. So be careful when it's on 5. 4, I think, is the best balance for a natural feeling. If 4 is too natural for you, you can always put it on 3. My control is normally, well, not control, but for Clip Studio, my stabilization is normally on 2. If I'm not feeling it, I could put it on 5 or 7. Even 6 is good. But if you want to feel like you're drawing on paper or freehand, you might want to put it on 2 or a low number. Again, in your settings, you have a lot of things that you can do, like stabilization. If stabilization isn't on a brush, you can turn the eye on and the stabilization can be on that specific brush that you want. Some brushes just won't put it there. It's the same with post-correction, adjustment speed, but I mostly just mess with stabilization and taper. So I hope that helps a little bit, because I know it can be a little confusing. Okay, thank you very much. Your tablet tool. There you go. I'm gonna put that window back now. Oops. And I'm gonna put that right back into my tool thing. Boop. And I'm gonna move it back up. Okay, I think that should be it. Oh, the little emote in the corner? That's Lennon. He's from LSD Dream Emulator. He stays in the corner for everything. He's just to look at. Welcome back, Seaweed. If you missed anything at the end of the tutorial, the video will be posted after the stream, so don't worry if you missed something or you didn't get to see anything. I was going to do a summary, but I think you guys get the gist. If there's anything else missing that you didn't understand, I will try and help you figure that out next stream. For now, I think I'm just going to take a little break. Or if you want to just watch me doodle until 8 o'clock, which is in about 6 minutes, I could doodle a little bit. Only 2 minutes left, so I think that's gonna be my last doodle on stream. Okay, let's switch to thank you, Seaweed. Yes, new money. I draw bodies really fast. I wish I could explain anatomy to you guys, but I don't think I'm that great at that. It's a very complicated subject and everyone has a different way of drawing it. My best suggestion is learning off of real life models. It really helps. Okay. So it's just me and you and the floorboards. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. And I will be talking to you guys later. I hope the tutorial helped a lot. And you got the gist of things. I'll probably be doing more tutorials later. Bye bye. Thank you for joining the stream. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you come back for more. Bye bye, Mizuni. Yeah, it's over. Don't worry. I posted the tutorial that I did today. It's gonna be posted and it's gonna be uploaded. I also might upload it to YouTube, so don't worry. Goodbye, everyone.